You see, this is why I love Nova Scotia. You play in the sand and you come up with something beautiful.
It's known as Canada's Ocean Playground, and Alexander Keats invites some of the country's best chefs to discover it all and throw their version of the long-loved Nova Scotian tradition, the kitchen party.
Everything that I do comes with love. It's all about the way that I feel, what's going on around me, the ingredients themselves. When I am pulling something out of the ground, it makes me appreciate exactly what I'm doing and to make sure that I treat that ingredient to the best of my ability. How can I make it shine? All I wanted to do was live the way and cook the way that I wanted to. Keep it simple. And I think that's what makes Nova Scotia so special, is that we're all so in tune with what grows around us. We have lots of hidden gems, beautiful things, and I'm proud to say that I live here, I cook here, and I have a family here.
Going to a farmer's market is being surrounded by inspiration. The colors, the smells. I'll often not have any idea what I'm going to cook. You'll build the dish around that rhubarb that's right out of the ground, and it all comes together. I love cooking farm to table, more as a philosophy than a style. A lot of people would think farm to table needs to be rustic and pioneerish, but I've always gone with local elegance. That's what I want out of my food, to be beautiful and balanced and strong and theatrical. And there's this fine line in between nostalgia and fantasy that I love to dance on. It really is about taking someone somewhere. That's what you do as a chef, is you entertain.
Our chef's journey begins with a taste of what's been rousing kitchen parties for generations.
Welcome to Nova Scotia and the historic Alexander Keats Brewery. I grew up here, and I'm still amazed at the bounty that the Atlantic Ocean makes possible. I know that in your kitchens, you've been cooking with lobster from our seas and lambs from our shores, but you've likely never had the opportunity to gather these ingredients for yourselves. Well, we've got some amazing adventures lined up for you guys. Before I send you guys off, we should raise a glass. I want to introduce you to Steve. He's the brewmaster here at Alexander Keats.
Chefs, we're standing here in a brewery that is older than Canada itself, established in 1820 by Alexander Keats. And I'm so pleased to show you the ingredients that make Alexander Keats IPA so special. What you're holding in your hand here is Canadian-grown two-row barley malt. That's what's going to provide Keats IPA with that biscuity, full-bodied, malty taste.
Boy, it's got this really great sweetness that's not that saccharine punch, it's that really nice round, kind of toasty sweetness.
Chef's Alexander Keats IPA.
Oh wow, that's got like an awesome black peppery licorice scent to that.
Have fun on your adventures, get inspired, and I'll see you in a couple days at the kitchen party. To Nova Scotia, sociable.
Sociable.
On the squalling waves of the Atlantic Ocean, dawn breaks on a chef's once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to lend a hand in a glorious maritime tradition.
The lobster industry in Nova Scotia, the heritage goes way back. It's been in existence since the 1700s. Very important to all the coastal communities along the shore. Feeds a lot of people. I've been fishing myself for 32 years roughly, and I don't think there's nothing I would have rather done than fish. It's funny because lobster fishing, you can't wait to get started, and when it's coming to the end, you're glad it's over. Something about the water that keeps you coming back, right?
The lobsters you're pulling out of the water here are really the gold standard for chefs like me across Canada. We really look for the vitality. You gotta cook them when they're live. When they're coming out of the water and they're just looking for a fight, it looks like. Wow, that's incredible. 50-year-old lobster. I knew that they lived a long time, and I know it took a long time to get this big, but Wow, 50 years. I hope I have this much fight when I'm 50.
In this district, every fisherman puts back 110 pounds as a conservation measure. Once we notch the tail, we can't take them no more.
I love how much care and attention you're putting into preserving both your industry and the stocks. And I love how much attention you're paying to the sustainability.
The fishery was good to me. I provided for my family, and I hope many more can do so for future generations.
I mean, what a day. Now we're gonna cook them up in the seawater they came from. We really can't get a more authentic taste of place than this.
It's nothing like cooking them right where they come from.
Yum!
It's lobster time.
Unbelievable. I've never tasted anything this fresh, this good. Beautiful, firm, succulent, fresh meat, right out of the ocean 2 hours ago. There really is nothing that can replace the flavor of that salt water.
Pretty nice that you can go in your backyard and be able to experience this, eh?
Thank you so much for this day. You've really taught me a lot.
You're quite welcome.
It's known as the farm that feeds Nova Scotia, where lush arable land was handed down from grandfather to father to son.
It's exciting for me to finally come here, see the animals out there, see the orchards. I had never really imagined the diversity of what goes on this farm, especially on a day like today. I mean, it's the perfect day to see this in all of its splendor.
You know, you have your staple things like your chicken, pork, and beef, but it's always nice to have something a little different. I'm the fourth generation on the farm. I started with my great-grandfather, and we use different types of livestock to manage the types of environments we have on our farm. On any livestock farm, grass is your key factor on what makes you successful or not. So if you can grow a mixture of legumes with other grasses like timothy, it gives a really rich pasture for your livestock. We're in a crucial time with apple blossoms being out right now. We need some heat to get the bees coming out of the hives. And so the bees come along, go from flower to flower, and they pollinate them, which will turn into apples.
What happens here on the farm is all dependent on these little blossoms.
Yeah. So this is some honey that come from the hives on the farm here.
Oh, wow. You know what? I know it's gonna sound crazy, but I think I can just taste a little bit of the apple blossoms in there. There's a little glass of goat milk. It smells really fresh. It smells really fresh. You can actually smell the grass in this that she's been eating. It tastes fresh. I can taste sweetness from the grass. I can taste the farm just in that little one glass of goat's milk. Just to see the love. I always say, for me, the food tastes better when I cook with love. And to be here with you and your family today just shows me that the love that goes into this farm, it's a magical place that you have here. For me to be able to see where the food comes from and to meet the producers, it's something that a lot of chefs never, ever, ever get the chance to do.
I want to let you in on a little Haligonian tradition. Friends, food, Alexander Keats. This right here is the kitchen party. Let's raise our Keats and toast our chefs. All right, everybody, I hope you're all hungry. Chef Renée, what are you cooking tonight?
My play on Nova Scotia. It's a little bit sweet, it's a little bit sour, it's a little bit bitter. I'm really excited about this dish because it incorporates all the things that I love about this province of Nova Scotia. The first fiddleheads of the season. We have the Olton's lamb leg, just a thin, beautiful, juicy slice. Salty, dulse-infused feta from a local farmer. Every little component has a little bit of that IPA flavor coming through in a different way. But when I think of Nova Scotian food, I want to make sure that I bring out the best in it. So every little bite is a little bit of me. It's a little bit of Nova Scotia.
Sounds fantastic. All right, good luck. Chef Eric, what are you cooking for us tonight?
So I've done a trio of lobster. I went nose to tail with the lobster.
I'm really proud of this dish because I used all Nova Scotia product and I used every part of the lobster because I felt that I owed it to the fishermen to really showcase their product. I made a salad with the lobster oil and I made a lobster roll with the claw, or as I like to call it, a little knuckle sandwich, and then poached the tails.
Just look at that.
This dish is going to play really well with the IPA because it really is about a taste of place. And it really is all about native Nova Scotia.
Sounds delicious. Good luck.
I've lived in Nova Scotia for 10 years, and kitchen parties are always very interesting. But it's got to be about the crowd. If the crowd isn't into the kitchen party, then you're not into the kitchen party. This is a pretty good crowd, so I'm pretty stoked about it.
All right, folks, who's hungry? Finding the ingredients was fun, but cooking for people that are loving it, that's the best.
Lobster 3 ways. Super creative. The lobster roll's got that soft bun, a little bit of sweetness from the apple with the lobster. It's perfect. Perfect marriage. That crispy cracker, the delicious tender lamb, while you can taste that feta cheese with that little bit of dulse in it, it's kind of like seaweed salt. We've had some great chefs cook some incredible food. Now it's time for you to vote for your favorite chef and send him off to Montreal.
Join us next week for more Nova Scotian hospitality. We'll invite 2 more chefs to adventure around this great province, and our kitchen partygoers vote to send their favorite chefs to Montreal, where Alexander Keats is throwing the biggest kitchen party yet.